All right, students, I'm going to introduce you to a new website called autodraw.com. A few of you in the upper level classes have already used this, but we're going to be using it for a more specific purpose, and that is to draw the Calavera for Hispanic Heritage Month. And so once we get into autodraw.com, we just type this in at the top. It's a free software. There's no download required, no login. We're going to be using a different orientation than what it defaults to. Remember the difference between landscape and portrait. You'll most likely want to use portrait. But if you do decide to keep landscape, make sure that you're still using 80% of the page, positive space. The tool that's already highlighted is the auto drawing tool. So if I draw the basic shape of something, you can see a skull. It doesn't need to be very accurate, and it's guessing what I'm trying to draw. So here you see the most similar object. I chose a skull, and it's going to replace what I had up drawn into the page already. Now the way that I suggest to create this, so work from your drawing, which you created Monday, Tuesday. If you did hearts for decorations, flowers for designs, create them on the side. Create them with the color that you want the outline to be in. There's other options on here that I'm going to flip through really quick. We have the positioning tool, the selection tool. If I click this, you can select the object, you can rotate it, you can shrink it. This is also where you can move it. So just by clicking, dragging, and moving it around, dragging from the corners, you can see how you can make it a little bit smaller. Here, I'll try to center it. Now I'll start drawing the little pieces of what I want to put together. Make sure you're using one tool at a time. Going back to the auto draw tool, think of it as like a cookie that you're layering different levels of decoration on top. So when I drag them and drop them onto the drawing, then they'll go on top of what I've already drawn before. Whatever my flower is going to be, I choose that style. I can alter it by clicking on it and making it smaller, larger, floating it above the areas to see if it matches up. I can also edit it. I can fill it with a color, that little cup. You'll see you can choose a new color. Make sure to click into the open area, and that'll fill the entire object. That'll fill the entire area that's closed in. Going back to the selection tool, I'm selecting the flower again. Now I'm going to use a shortcut key on a laptop or PC. You have to hold down the control button while clicking C. The item has to be selected. Now that's going to be copied. Sometimes you'll get a message on there, but most of the time not. Then you hit Control now and hit Control V and you'll paste. So that's the hotkey for copy and paste. Control C, Control V. If you click on the menu on the top left, you can see some more reminders about hotkeys. Now I keep on clicking Control V. That copied image will continue to paste. I want two eyes that are going to be flowers. I'm not going to go in too much detail right away. So if I want to continue that theme, I can sprinkle these at a different size. I can resize it, copy from there, paste it over and over. That way I can manipulate it. If I don't like it, I can just hit Control Z to undo, or I can just delete it. Now I just put these into place, do more copy and paste as I need them. So the idea is you're going to be able to compare how much different the value you're seeing in this new project when you create it digitally is from what you created in class at the beginning of the week. So you can play with the colors. You can do the fill to try out, see what looks good. If it's not enough contrast, try a different color. Make sure you use that background if you have that extra room. Now, technically you do have different values, because if you convert this to black and white, you would see certain colors are still darker than others. The same way we had our 4 levels in the other project. So I want to see a variety. I want to see some good contrast to make them complement each other. So once you created exactly what you want, Click on the hamburger menu, that top left. There's an option to download. You can also use a snipping tool to create a quick JPEG, or you can do a screenshot to keep track of where it gets saved, so that when you upload it back into Schoology, it'll be due by Friday as your final part of this project. We'll factor in the drawing which we had done at the beginning of the week and your participation in the discussion posts that we see assigned per day.